all night.
All right, quick mic check. How's it going, everybody?
Hi, everyone.
Hope everyone's staying warm and dry. My car is just covered in grime after driving to work today.
And we have 2 white cars.
Which actually showed, like, but I guess if it's that bad that it shows on the white car.
Yeah.
But white cars look cleaner, longer. All right, we got to figure out what our opener is. We'll be back.
You'll come around, but don't get me wrong. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. I feel it in my bones like you'll come along now. Baby, you coming through. Do what you gotta do. Take it to the big scene. Take it all. Go for hope and glory. Go, go long. Baby, for
Cosplay, cosplay, cosplay.
We're taking a behind-the-scenes look at what Smart Doll has been working on for the past few months.
Oh, you know what? It's January 6th, and this is your Smart Doll news.
You got so caught up in your Barker role. Cosplays, cosplays, cosplays. Monday, Monday, Monday.
Sandy's shiny moments.
Yeah, that kind of threw me now. I just want to point out if there's, let me know if there's any weird audio stuff happening, because my mic receiver is doing that.
Yeah.
But it seems to be working. So, great. I'm not going to mess with it unless you tell me something's wrong. We've got, Smart Doll just came back up. Store is back open. I think he dumped a whole load of boob option parts on the store.
Yep.
But other than that, we figured we'd take a look at all the sort of side sneak peek pictures that Danny's been posting over the past few months and get caught up.
And there's a lot of cosplay.
Yeah, a whole lot of cosplay. So, let's get into it. It's been a while since AG's gotten his butt kicked. I don't know if we get to play that graphic. First up, we got a boy. And he's wearing some clothes.
Yeah. Short on one side, long on the other. I don't know if they're just playing with making a shorts or if that character wears one leg short, one leg long.
I'm not a huge, I get, if it is shorts, I get what, they're like, hey, we'll just take the same pattern and shorten it.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of, skinny shorts or whatever's going on here. I feel like it needs a little bit of room there.
I'm sounding tunnely.
Shouldn't be.
A wee tunnel.
That's because mine is happening. So this is what's actually happening. The audio is only coming through my mic and not through both. Let's see if what we can do to fix this. I think this. I'm not sure what I'm going to destroy by unplugging things.
Well, I'm going to keep talking from within my tongue.
All right. Audio is back. Thank you for holding up with us. And Sandy?
Am I okay?
No, you're still not coming through. Did you get turned off?
It's green. Turned down? Is there a volume on there?
All right.
Okay, Barbie Witch says it's better.
And I'm dropping
Yeah,
stuff.
Mika7 said it's good now. I'll just hold my mic. It's fine. Okay. Okay, so we're good now. Somebody give me a one last confirmation.
All right.
Okay.
Well, now that we've derailed the entire
No,
beginning.
we haven't. So we were talking about the pants, and you were saying that you didn't really like the...
using the same cut, the sort of skinny jean cut for shorts.
I like slim shorts, and I think it looks like he's wearing like a dressier looking top half, if that's what we're supposed to be seeing, that they're
Sort of
working
like a
on
Henley.
clothes for that guy. No, I'm talking about the picture of the guy on the bottom.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if we're legit, I mean, Danny I know you're sort of doing this as the inspiration, this character, but please make the actual clothes set for sale, or at least put out the patterns, because we need more guy clothes.
Like good guy clothes, like so guys can dress, like really dress up and stuff.
So I love this. Like, you got the suspenders, you've got, you know, the shirt and tie, like nice slacks, like digging it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be interested to see. I mean, maybe this isn't for shorts at all. I'm not sure why it would be that short on one side otherwise, but who knows? Very cool. Okay.
Those wigs.
This picture, I cannot get enough of. I can't decide which I like. No, it's the right.
The one on the right is so good. I mean, like, we have one wig that's cut like that for vignette, and we love it. And it's just like, you put it on and it just sits the way it's supposed to, and you don't have to do anything to it.
Yeah, this is like, the one on the left is like a slightly newer version of the Genesis Bob, which is good. But yeah, this, I love the one on the right.
Yeah, the one on the left, you'd have to, you're going to end up, like, when you do photos and stuff, you're going to end up making sure that the bangs are positioned correctly and stuff so that you can see the eyes the way you want to. The Bob is just good. Like,
yeah,
it might need to be smoothed, and that's about it.
Yeah, it is one of the single most survivable wigs that we have. Now, that may have other elements involved in it being that, but the simplicity of the cut and how it was made, we'll see. All right, cannot wait for that, and definitely popular in chat as well. Got a picture of eye cradles.
Yeah, and these look a little bit different. Like, maybe they are for fitting the new eyes or something.
We did know that when we did the tour, when we were in Japan, he did talk about they're working on newer versions of the eye cradles. We know right now the eye cradles are basically, they have these pegs on the front, and then they've added these like clear washers that fit around it and kind of bulk it out. And then they still need like a good chunk of
Blue tack.
Blue tack. And that's because they don't quite go in far enough. It's interesting. But here, I don't know if this is just part and parcel for like part of the new print now that they've figured out like the how much width it should have, but definitely new. And you can see like it's got these marks down it, I guess maybe for grip, not sure.
Yeah.
It's also interesting to see, mostly for us, as we have a bunch of fusion heads that we have to install eyes in, is getting to peek at their latest version of how they're doing the blue tack in here, which is basically cut a strip and then pinch the ends down so that it keeps it's stuck to there well enough, but it also keeps enough
to stick to the side of the head and the inside, yeah.
Versus having it stick it down too much. And here it looks like they just put a dollop on there and then add a little slice to the top of it. So we're taking note. All right, what is going on here, Sandy?
These look like Cortex parts.
Right, the face plates.
All the face plates that are being done.
There's a lot to talk about here. What is going on here? Maybe we should come back to that. Let's talk about these first.
Yeah, so it looks like kind of like C-3PO boobs.
Yeah, I'm maybe they're actual things, but yeah, we've got now android boobs.
Yeah, I mean, and look at what they chose. How they chose to do the like. There's like a socket there where the nipples would be.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
But oh my God, this glossy white with the kintsugi on it.
Yeah.
Looks so amazing. I want to see the rest of a doll like that.
Yeah, that'd be very cool. All in white with gold, yeah, like on the face and everything. That would be awesome. Engine says, we made them for the Outpost. Oh, Barb and Alex made the white and Beth made the yellow.
Awesome.
That's very cool.
Very, very cool. So clearly some of the stuff that Danny is, sort of showing off here is the possibilities and the things that you might see as we get into more partnerships in the near future with creators, being able to build and sell their own Cortex. So really, really cool. This hair, though, let me know if somebody actually gave this to him or what, but the hair is interesting. The hair itself reminds me of Anya's hair from Spy Family, but it's in an orange.
Doll Dragon says it looks like Fifth Element.
I also had that thought a little bit, but I wasn't sure why he would go the route of three-dimensional hair for a non-anime character.
And there's another image of that hair later, too.
I've got that in a second. I do also want to point out that I believe that's the same orange. We can see him using it for like prototyping some of the busts, the Cortex busts, the XXL.
Also on there we didn't comment on is the back of the heads with the USB-C ports in them.
Right. These have actually, the port has been there for a long time, but you can actually start to see in some of the pictures of his work with the Arduino stuff and all the electronics, him starting to wire things up in that way. Although I don't know how he's getting it through the neck yet, if he's going to do that. Here is the hair again.
And next to these boots.
Yep.
Purposefully, I mean that's very purposeful. Those two things sitting there next to each other.
Yeah, and I don't see. I certainly don't see the boots as like related to Lulu Dallas from Fifth Element. Doll Dragon says it's the anime version. That's why I think he would be using sculpted hair. I definitely think it's an anime character. We've just never seen him go outright anime cosplay of a real life character.
Right.
Almost all his stuff goes the other way. I mean, it's certainly possible, but my first inclination is that this wig is something to do with an actual anime character. Or he's just trying out, 3D hair. If you can figure out who this is, let us know. Put it in the comments. Here again, although looking at these two, the colors, maybe they're a little bit different, although it's hard to say. But again, this is a 3D print of the XXL Cortex bust. You can see if he did make this hair, that it could just be like a test color. The color may be throwing us off. He could just be trying it out, and the actual color will be different.
Or that's the color, and I mean, because he's used like he used the yellow for Naruto's hair to make the yellow bodies and stuff like that. So he does use that.
That's a case of the people that made it for him had a bunch of extra vinyl, and he did something with it. Mm-hmm. Like that was using what you have. Whereas he chooses to print these in these colors. This is resin. He could just put it back in the bottle and be fine with it. So, I mean, it does feel like the orange is sort of an early test, like just testing the print. Going to use a color that's not color matched. I'm not going to worry about that. We're just going to put it there and make sure that it works.
Okay, Barb is saying the audio is choppy.
Well, all right. Well, too bad, Barb. Great, more people. Well, I see we're getting... Yeah, we're not getting drop frames, although the CPU is up, but... other than restarting stuff, I'm not sure how much I can do to help you guys. Doll's Rescue says, are we looking at the same orange as the head caps? I don't think so. It's kind of...
It looks more peachy.
More sorbet-like.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Let's move on.
I think he's trying to take a look at the audio while doing this.
I would have done it successfully, calling me out. Here we've got a picture of the innards and all the stuff that he is trying to cram inside this. And if you watched the tour that we did, the part 2 of the tour, which is out a few weeks ago, he talks about how they're evolving, you know, the Evolve frame and the Cortex bodies to try and fit more components inside there.
Okay, so some people are saying the audio is fine, so it could just be the interwebs.
And again, here's it fully splayed open. You've got your main circuit board. He's got a little screen here that he was had sort of like a readout and the various lights. And you can see here the USB plug that I assume would go up into the head. But again, I'm not sure how that's working. I know he also did have talk about looking into redesigning the elbows,
Right,
to make an actual pass through.
right, and also he also said that he wanted to do something to them because it's now like he feels like the elbows are a little too simple for the Cortex, I think is what he said. Like he wanted to do some sort of treatment on them.
Yeah. This one's interesting. These aren't lights.
No, there's actually inserts in there and it's painted.
I'm not sure if this is... Like, my gut says it's inserts, judging by the black around there. It looks like something poking up through the normal, which, you know, the normal shell, which would make sense because why make 2 completely different shells with just that cosmetic piece to it when he could just print an insert for it?
Also, something to note in here is the new underwear that Danny told us about when we took our tour.
Right. So this is the future of the Smart Doll underwear band. So it's interesting. What do you guys think about seeing, you know, having not just open parts for lights, but having colored pieces to put in there? I mean, in general, we're also just seeing the customization. I hope whatever weird random stuff Danny does, that he just keeps putting the 3D files out there for people to be like, all right, I'm gonna work off of this and you know, so that kind of keep giving everybody a jump start.
I think that sounds like, it sounds like what he really wants to do. He's like turning it into a very open thing, an open source kind of thing for people to be able to do stuff.
Yeah, and really evolving the hobby, because, I mean, I remember when we were first investigating Smart Doll, was it the Kamadas? Had their whole, like, putting together the Simplicity kit and things like that.
Kodamas.
The Kodamas, thank you. I don't even know what I even said now. They had a great video of, you know, like the whole building aspect of it. And there's like getting back into that and the customization and really pushing it is very cool. Another shot again, this time in gold, which almost looks like was the point of that, because I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, maybe it's just the light, but you can almost see orange underneath here, so the orange was maybe a color underlay.
Oh, maybe. And then they hit it with the gold on top like you do to make it seem brighter.
Yeah. Very, very cool. I don't know exactly what he's doing with the orange and blue paints. Maybe that was what they used on those pieces, but there's a lot of random stuff.
A coffee Cortex painted solid bright red.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Like, this is sort of reading like blood red to me. I don't know where this is going, but it's really cool.
It'll be really. I'd love to see. I wonder if it's going to end up with gold paint on it, because that would look amazing.
Oh yeah, and or maybe some white, some really like high contrast, elements and things like that.
My other thought was maybe it's red because it's going to be painted gold, and we're getting a C-3PO Cortex.
Oh, so you're suggesting that this is the base for it?
For a gold android. I just suddenly thought of that because we were just talking about how you do red and then put the gold on top.
Right. That's certainly a possibility. And then he'd also have like the one, he could do one red leg or whatever.
Yeah.
Or whichever limb is red, I forget. So that certainly could be true. I like it either way. I love all the different colors. I'm really interested. I'd love to hear him talk a little bit about like the techniques they're using here and any sort of like durability of these techniques that they're using to paint these, because maybe it's okay and you could seal it. Maybe it's because it's not vinyl, it's a little bit easier, but...
And Chantarium says vision, like the possibility of that being a vision smart doll. I want to comment on a long time ago when Danny first did the creator page, and like we were in the first group to get on it. I joked around about wanting a gold smart doll so that I could hold it up like an Oscar.
Right.
That would be really cool. Put it on a base. Make it a smart doll Oscar.
We'll have the Smarties every year. Tempest Strife says there was already a Chrome doll, right? And yes, there was. And again, I don't know just what sort of durability the paint is, but it's. I mean, I would imagine. That it's able to adhere better to the Cortex than it is to like the Sofubi vinyl. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's fine. What else?
Not going nowhere.
All right, we'll just do that. I wanted to put this in here because this is, the first time in a while that I've gotten to really take a look at the
frame
and it's the changes that they've been making, and you can see here this whole chunk. These two parts here are basically supports for the thigh shells for Cortex to grab onto. Right,
because he did say that he was going to do that they had to make some adjustments for Cortex.
Tempest Strife says, just a clear coat semi-gloss would do fine for the shell, but the frame, she had trouble keeping the paint on from the friction and the movement. At least one thing I will say, I wonder on the Evolve frame, now mind you, the parts may be fairly tight.
That's not Evolve.
Yeah, but, then they can't even see what I'm doing anyway. Yeah, there's no ball joint here specifically, but on things like the elbows, on the old dolls, everything's held together. It's through tension, through sandwiching those things together. Whereas here, the tension is inside with the ratchet. I mean, it's held together, but that's not the thing that's keeping it, moving the way it's supposed to move. So I wonder if less friction there might help that. I don't know.
Barb says she thinks a new spine is underway as well to be able to fit more stuff in.
Definitely. Like he talked multiple times in our tour about needing to work on the spine to make more room in the torso, because that's where all the stuff is going. And they can only do so much with making room in the shell.
So it has to be able to get cables through the spine, et cetera, and so forth?
Well, it's not just that, just literal, like the spine takes up most of the torso. I mean, there's probably a couple ways he can do it. Obviously, he can try and make the spine physically take up less space, which is possible. And of course, then he'd have to keep dealing with the durability aspect and things like that. But he could also, we can see the spine here over on the left, he could maybe try and make it lower profile and more towards the back instead of it's kind of, I mean, it's a little bit towards the back, but keep it more like a spine, more towards the back. So if he can optimize the distance that this has to sit from the back of the vinyl shell and reduce its profile in general, then that's compounding how much room he's got in front.
Right.
Also had to add this. I mean, I'm sure he's posting this to kind of focus on some of the problems that they have. You can see here, I mean, this must be a vinyl. This looks like a cyber vinyl bust. And you can see some of the issues they have, but you gotta love the C3OP label on this. So could that be confirmation of a gold cyber? No, it's as Lee says, this dork.
New bomber jacket, more fitted to fit the and fits the classic body.
Yeah, very, very. I mean, I love fitted clothes. Even though this is kind of bulky, it's still very, well fitted.
I like it. I think it's really cool. I would definitely want to have that jacket. Barb says, I love this jacket. My God, I knew you would. I looked at it and went, oh, that's got Barb written all over it.
Yeah, that's what it says here in Japanese. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Along the line, it's sort of a theme. Color variations, gold painted versions of things. Here is prowess, some face-ups, but there's some interesting stuff happening on this one. We can see sort of like red underlays and stuff here, but we've got this new gold stripe here. And it appears multiple times.
So one of my thoughts about this is that they always do their test paints on cinnamon. Danny's told us that. So this may be for the black and gold prowess we've asked for before.
Could be. I like to think that this is sort of a like...
Wait, has she come out already? Do we have a black and gold prowess? I'm not big on prowess, so I can't remember.
I feel like we got gold.
Is she black and gold? Yes,
The
she
Black
is.
Navy?
No,
Yeah.
she is. That's right. No, we do have one. Is one. It's the cyber one. Okay, never mind.
Again, the red is sort of seeming to be underlays, but this is like it's definitely like a different coloration because it's normally all black there with like tan above it, right? Just sort of like eyeshadow. This has multiple like new section of color.
So yeah, it could just be a totally new variation on prowess.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to think that this is some sort of like, well, the thought that I have is maybe this is like a kintsugi, not kintsugi.
Kabuki?
No,
No.
the fox.
Oh, Kizune.
Uh,
Kitsune.
Maybe
Kitsune.
this is a kitsune prowess where he's gonna actually do like like on the white cyber or something like that. I mean that could be interesting with red and gold. Cannot wait to see where this goes. Landamug says, or Inuyasha demon formed. I doubt that this is going into a full-on anime character because it's so very much prowess. But prowess has kind of quickly become his like like Chitose has always had like multiple variations and evolvement over time. Prowess is just like infinite variations with colors now.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's got the opportunity for it. I mean, like, you got all those whiskers. She's got a lot of paint on her face. And she's popular. I mean, there are people that just collect prowess, just like there are people that just collect Chitose.
But I would really like the idea of a kabuki style prowess. I think that's really awesome. But yeah, very cool. Another shot of her again, still with this sort of magenta red down here. And Sandy, you were arguing with me about whether this is an underlay or not. I'm pretty sure this is purposeful here.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it more than once, so it's probably not. It's probably is supposed to be red and gold. But it's interesting. It's a totally different red than what's. So I'm like wondering if now if those cheeks are gonna go gold or what? Because it's a totally different red.
Yeah,
than what's up top.
The magenta is odd. So yeah, maybe that's going gold. But then the mouth is as well. So
yeah.
Okay. This is the beginning of the cosplay section of the remainder of the pictures here, pretty much. What the heck is going on here?
We went through and looked at so much stuff for this and could not find what this is. Does anybody know what this character is?
Yeah, we've got a character with a bunch of Egyptian symbology. You got the Eye of Ra on the sleeve. You've got, I think we have another picture here, yep. You've got a scarab down on the leg, Anubis on the stomach. What are we doing here? And Janitarium says, I tried to reverse Google search, but also no. Yeah, that's the first thing I did. And just found random symbol designs similar to it.
And the problem when you're Google searching for anime characters is when you put in like anime character, Anubis tattoo on stomach or whatever, you just get like AI generated or fan art of an anime girl with an Anubis tattoo.
Or Egyptian whatever. Yeah. So part of me assumes this is cosplay for something. It's rare that he sort of does, like, custom characters in this fashion, like in the style of it. Like he doesn't go out and make Egyptian girl. He could be.
Yep.
But most everything is done is like one-off actual whatchamacallit, characters. Kathy Coney says
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Sandy's gonna look it up, and while she does, we're gonna take a look at another sneak peek of a cosplay number 2. This is just fabric selection. So nothing really telling except for what's on his screen.
I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up another time. There's something with Egyptian gods in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, and I just got actually by the doll dragon, and that is the Eye of Horus on the shoulder. I apologize. 1 point to you. So up here we've got a picture of the back of Kara, the android from Detroit Becoming Human. And there's her front. So working on a cosplay there, it's interesting because he's getting so far into androids and stuff, but most all the androids don't show seams like
Right.
Cortex
No, they
do.
actually look like people.
But still really cool. And then, of course, this one's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
Like early October, I think we started seeing pictures of this.
Yeah, and I mean, and he's been wanting to do Star Wars forever. Like,
Yeah, and I think he's probably given up on like legit licensing at this point, from the sound of it. But who knows? But cosplay is the way to go. So yeah, we've got the sort of pattern breakdown order that he does.
there's some of the build of it, the muslin being made.
You can see some of like the stitch lining being done out in this. I don't know if this is Danny doing this or not, but we know that's like pinning together like core stuff.
Oh, look,
and
there's the boots. They don't go together. Those are the Hoth boots.
There we go. All right, so that's an answer on the boots. The boots are from Hoth. Still no idea what that anime hair is for.
Yep.
Unless he's deciding, I mean, it's not, he's going to have to do like the braid thing. So, I guess the hair, the anime hair and the boots are not related.
Nope. They looked like they were. It looked very purposeful, but that's just Danny probably throwing a wrench in the works for us.
Here we've got the beginnings of the vest. And you can see here, this is the, we'll see there's a bunch of clips. This is the tape that Danny uses to mark things off. Mm-hmm. And that's just like that really like tape that you can just sort of like maneuver around and make curves with.
Yep.
And the back and the sleeves now for it.
That quilting is lovely.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then without the without the vest, but the final jumpsuit, looking really good.
Okay, so Katakit says the orange hair, or the Egyptian doll rather, could be Anna from Overwatch.
While Sandy checks that out, let's take a minute and give the video a like, give it a thumbs up if you've got a moment and are enjoying the look at behind the scenes at what Smart Doll is up to. And we're going to take a short break here and come back to the last couple of very cool cosplays that we're going to look at here. But in the meantime,
Let's dance.
We've been driving around, singing songs way too loud because we wanna. Picking up all our friends, fill up the car till it bends because we wanna. Yeah, trunks full of wine. We're gonna stay up, have the time of our lives. The night is young, don't need anybody else. We came to party all night long, and we don't need no chaperone. We don't need nobody's attention, yeah, we just wanna dance on our own. We came to party all night long.
All right. I did go a little bit too soon, but thank you all for submitting those pictures to the party. Check out the Discord and look for the Smarty Party channel if you want to submit your own each week. Getting back into this, here are the 3D printed parts for her in her rank insignia and her wrist communicator. So, next up,
Star Trek.
the Kelvin timeline. This is Uhura and the beginnings of a Star Trek. So we've gone from Star Wars to Star Trek in the matter of a month. And again, you can see Danny's sort of process here. This is a fairly basic dress that they've put on here. And then Danny starts to...
Yeah, it's probably even based off of one of their t-shirts, and they just, like, you know, make it longer and add in some darts where they need to, etc.
Is there a reason we're being quiet about this?
No, I'm just talking. No, but I was going to say, Kelly Poplar says we need all of this in actual apparel. I mean, Danny does take the stuff that he learns from the cosplays and turns it into clothes.
Sometimes.
A lot of the time.
Yeah, it definitely happens. But, you know, licensing.
Yeah.
It's one thing for him to do it for his own, you know, fun. It's another thing to sell it.
Right. No, but I mean, he could make a new, like, polar suit for the Solar Marines that uses a lot of those techniques.
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder if Danny could get away with... I mean, it probably would be too much work to make the pattern versus them just, you know, putting, you know, like make the pattern usable.
Right.
But I wonder if giving out the free pattern, I don't think that would be an issue. But we haven't seen him do anything like that with his cosplays. But it would be very cool. And then, of course, you know, the danger there, which is not his problem technically, but the danger there would be that somebody would take his pattern and then go start charging for it.
We're also being told from last week that there is no Smart Doll Guru merch on the site.
Okay.
So we will take care of that.
We can see the pattern coming forward here. We've got the rank insignia. This is for the engineering, which you don't often get to see, especially because this is the rank symbols from the original series.
Right.
So this like thorny, almost like Naruto spiral thing is the engineering, and as communications officer, Uhura would have that. And we can start to see it actually come together.
Mm-hmm.
Here we can actually see the structure that he had drawn on. And this is actually in the reference material.
It's very cool. It's a very cool little dress. I mean, like, I would want a dress like that without, you know, no insignias or anything. Make it in a couple different colors and put it out there because it's a cute little dress.
Yeah, and that could be okay, but this is just essentially a mock-up.
Right.
Because he's starting over with proper fabric. You
A
can
much
see,
more 70s, 60s, 70s textured, looks like a peakade.
I mean, this is literally out of, the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies. It's, the stuff from the original series was much more plain, like single color, not an enormous amount of texture. But they're almost got these like waffle, not exactly waffle, that's not the right term, but like...
yeah, it's like a PK knit. It's sort of like bumpy.
We can back to here. And I would say, scale-wise, it's pretty good. Because these are large on...
If that's what I don't know, I can't tell. That might just be like a waffle knit. But it looks like the one that he's on the dress looks more structured.
Right. Yeah. It looks, yeah. This has a lot more drape to Kirk's fabric, yeah. So yeah, we're seeing that come together. I believe this is the back, and the front is up here, I think. But especially because the double seams are on the front, we can see there, and it's only single seam on the back, or whatever you want to call that. I think I meant to take this out because we were confused about like which sculpt this was and stuff like that, and if it was like Chitose. But this is just the M2 sculpt.
In coffee.
Yeah, the anime pear sculpt. Oh man, brightness on this is horrible. I gotta say, I tried to find pictures of Fiona from Shrek in the dress, and all you can find are like small transparent pictures of her like half covering up, like this.
Yeah,
like,
it's like almost you have to open up the movie and take a picture or screen cap or
which is
something
totally
like
not
that.
what I did.
Yeah.
So yeah, Danny's been working on Fiona cosplay.
Yep.
Which I wonder where this image is from. But yeah, we can see what were they doing here?
It looks like they're doing the sketch for the embroidery. And there's the bodice, which you can tell because that's the fabric for it down in the lower left corner.
Yeah, which is really hard to read, but it's green there. Now we've got the updated pattern for Fiona Shrek pear body, and that sketch of the embroidery.
It looks like it's starting to build it here because that's like actually the bodice, but they're waiting to cut out that top section.
Yeah, so again, an interesting look in terms of how they're sort of draping, right? Like, or maybe that's not the right term, but like they're building it on there and marking the changes that they want to make to this, and then pulling it off, probably like cutting and remaking new patterns out of it.
Right. There it is.
And there's the result, which looks fantastic. And again, one sleeve, one eye. I mean, we may be just getting pictures. I'm just thinking about to the shorts thing earlier.
Well, when you make a muslin, yeah, you don't make both sleeves. You make one because they're going to be symmetrical. If you make both sleeves to start off with, you're going to end up with like two different sleeves. Now, you might want to see how it fits afterwards. You do that, but when you first make your sleeve, you only make one.
So is there any application to this thought process to the shorts that we saw earlier?
I think that they started off with a pants pattern, and we're seeing what it would work like as shorts, and that's why we have one leg and one not.
Okay. Now we see the cutout in the fabric, and the collar lining and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Pretty.
So we're going to be definitely seeing green pear girl for this Fiona. We've got the inside of the skirt.
Mm-hmm. And then that's the layout of the embroidery.
Yeah, which honestly looks like the sketch they did literally got turned into embroidery. I mean, the lines just, that's normal, but it looks like the way that they sketched the petals almost became the thread marks for the petals.
Mm. And there it is all put together. So when you lay it out on the pieces like that, when you do a pattern, there's a way to set it up so that it will actually make a continuous pattern and fill. Like, so like when you stitch the side seams, it will actually line up and not have weird like gaps and stuff that you don't want.
Which is not what they've done.
Oh yeah, it's not there. They didn't do it. There's a way to do it so that it makes one continuous flow.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just did, you know, reasonably what they could, and it looks like this is just mirrored over there. So, Ugh, this is just ridiculous, guys.
Yeah, it doesn't even need to be one continuous flow. It's gorgeous.
I don't even think it is on the thing, and it wouldn't really. To me, it looks. I mean, it would be nice, but in a 3D animated film, if you did that, it would just look like you were too lazy to put in the. It would be too perfect.
Right.
And it would just look like one texture. Versus when it's physically there, being one texture is harder to do and more impressive. I mean, this is great. I cannot wait. And Gentarium says, Barb says, it's busy enough that you don't even see the seam anyway.
Yeah, and it's a velvet, so like it's sort of, the seam gets brushed over as well, so it doesn't really, you don't notice it as much, and it's dark.
Yep. What's going on with this trim? Okay, I think it's just a normal trim that they found.
Like a gold braid, yeah.
Yeah. It's nice. And then, of course...
her crown and her ears. The ears are so awesome.
This is going to be very, very cool cosplay.
It is.
I love seeing, like, okay, you know, I mean, it is just ears, technically, but really going beyond just, okay, here's a face-up and a costume. Like, getting, like, these other pieces that are making a character more than just what the doll is.
It would be neat to see some alternative ears for green, like, you know, like some little, like, animal-type ears or something like that. So you could make, like, a different kind of... you know, monster or alien character.
Yeah, I'd love to see Danny take another stab at ears, and, you know, do better, like, ears that are more molded to the ears that we have and sit better on it, and he doesn't have to label difficult to install.
Yeah. Difficult to attach elf ears.
Yeah, I mean, clearly he doesn't care that much about them, but, you know, this starts to me think of like, oh, all right, that's cool. What if, you know, what if he did shorter elf ears, Vulcan ears, like, you know, something that's not so dramatic as elf ears.
Right.
But, Corvalabu says, how are those fitting over the sculpt's ear, cutting them off first? I don't think he's going to... I think he's going to ignore the ears. The hair is probably just going to cover him.
Because doesn't her hairstyle go down, like, around like this?
And they peek out the side. Let's go back to my really horrible...
Yeah, so like her braid and her hair would cover her regular ears completely, and those ears are probably just going to sit in there attached.
Yep. And then lastly, we've got the very rough beginnings, most likely, of her face up, maybe. Mm-hmm. I can't think that this is anything else other than that, but we shall see. So, which cosplay are you most excited about? And which, not only like which cosplay are you most excited about, but which would you love to see most evolve into like real apparel?
The Leia suit.
Yeah, the padding, the quilting.
It's really nice. It's really well done. I mean, like that's definitely what I would like to see. I mean, obviously
they're great at those jumpsuits and flight suits and things like that. Like they've since Marco Halu designed that first jumpsuit and stuff. Like it's. Culture Japan has gotten really solid with those types of things.
I mean, of course, I love the Fiona costume. I love gowns and stuff like that. But lots of us make gowns, and I think like what Smart Doll does really well is those really intricate everyday pieces, like the jeans and the like the jumpsuits and things like that. Like they're gorgeous, and they partner with Marco Halu and get all those really awesome details in. And that's what I would like to see. I'd like to see the Hoth suit.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Well, I mean, like a version of it, like maybe a jacket in like, I don't know, navy blue or black that is quilted like that.
And bring some elements into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to think of, out of all of these, I mean, probably the Star Trek uniform is like, I just love the fabric though. It's a fairly, I mean, I wouldn't call it simple. You've got those, multiple bands down to create that flared hip. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I like it in terms of the kind of simplicity, but also like, I don't know, the fabric just seems kind of luxurious to me. Like I love textured things like that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't wait to see all of the strange variations of Cortex that are in our future.
Yeah, I'm going to freely admit I was not excited about Cortex to begin with, but I can see the potential now and the kinds of cool things you could do with it. I mean, probably my Cortex girls will wear long sleeves and stuff a lot, but
sure.
I understand why, and I get it now.
So my question here is, let's switch back to here. I would love to see non-cyber faces. Like, get rid of the under the eye thing. I don't mind the top pieces, but having a more clear human
But we're going to be able to put the vinyl heads on the Cortex body. So you can still have a normal head.
Sure, but, and again, this is probably wishful thinking, the faceplate concept means he can produce a lot more easily, and we might get more expression changes. Mm-hmm. We might see more, more options. And these are all, I don't know, like this doesn't require nearly as much outside stuff. But I don't think we're necessarily going to see it, but it would be kind of nice. This is so just in your face, as it were, with the cyber marking, and I don't think it's necessary considering the sort of chin. I wouldn't mind like maybe like one of those chin cuff sort of things.
We've got a first Smart Doll purchase yesterday.
Random Sky 33.
Just got my first Smart Doll Mirai yesterday. I'm so excited. You guys inspired my purchase. Oh, thank you.
So great to see it. And I love, it's everyone's advice. It's Danny's advice, but it's always interesting to me just how many people go for Mirai first. And I think it's very cool.
Well, a lot of times he says, like, if you don't know who to get, if you can't make a decision, get Mirai. Which I think because they're all so gorgeous, like, it's hard to decide who your first one's going to be.
Sandy would suggest Future, but, it's same difference. Pick anime versus semi-real. It says, I second John. Since face-ups take so long, I wonder if he would, due to the result being in high demand. I don't think face-ups take as long as you think they do. They can crank out of all the pieces that they have to do, especially if all they're doing is a face-up on a product. I think he could do a lot more. Now, the eyes are another thing, but, we saw... we didn't see anybody doing face-ups there. Nobody was spraying in the... We saw the tables where they do, airbrushing, but, if all the faces are just plates that they've had created through injection molding, and now they're coming in and putting their the face masks on and just running across. It doesn't take no time, but I don't think it's as much as you think. And in the grand scheme of, like, comparatively to an entire doll or to an entire whatever, this is, let's put it this way. They were reasonably able to fit in amongst all the other stuff that they're doing a bunch of fusion heads for us.
Yeah. I think it's also that, like he's talked about, like we went through it with the option heads. Like, one of the reasons that we had all these option heads, there were no bodies because it takes much longer to make the bodies.
Yeah.
So,
right.
and put them together. So, like, it's the bodies that are more of a challenge than the face.
Yeah, not only for the manufacturing of the parts, but then constructing the parts, making sure that they're all constructed perfectly. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I wonder how people would feel about, like, face plates. So floating heads, it feels like there's an entire doll head there. Uh-huh. When we just have, if we were to ever get to a point where you could just buy face plates, I wonder how a doll collector would feel about those. Is it going to have the same, like, are you going to feel the same sort of, like, this doll has a soul and I don't like putting them in a drawer kind of thing and keeping them away? Or are people going to be more willing to collect multiple faces?
I think it depends on the collector, but I think it's the same thing unless you're doing multiple faceplates of the same character with different expressions.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, different expressions is a very different thing. But it's just a matter of, would you, like, multiple characters starts to become interesting. Let's see. Where is it? Cornflower Blue makes the point. Faceplates are familiar to Fairyland BJD collectors. Lots of BJD, have faceplates, but it's usually multiple faceplates for the same doll.
Right. Like different expressions, like vampire versus not, etc., and so forth.
Although it appears Fairyland probably is more committed to that than what we normally see. Tempest Strife says, Fairyland does faceplates. I enjoy it. They often use it for expressions like Unoa and Unos, but I body swap to keep my space concise. Tall Dragon says, a fancy jewelry drawer of faceplates. It sounds like a dream, a creepy dream, but a dream.
Oh, we would have, like, probably like one of those Harbor Freight tool chests full of faceplates.
Well, we've got one of those IKEA Alex, those project drawers that would
Yeah.
work pretty well. Yeah, I just foresee like, you know, doing like the like high-end closet stuff where it's just like
Just drawers.
drawers that are like at an angle.
Oh gosh, a walk-in smart doll closet.
It's just body parts everywhere. One can dream. You know, Smart Doll has taken over so many rooms in our house at this point.
Yeah, we actually are working on the process of converting our dining room for such things as well. So,
At least related, but yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to show this outfit that I put on Zoe here.
Go for it.
This is one of the outfits and shoes that I brought back from Japan, from Volks. Poor Zoe has been living as Madame du Smarty for like, well, basically since Madame du Smarty came out, which was like 2 years ago. So I finally got her back in her wig. This is, for those who haven't seen it, this is the Melody G4 prototype in milk. She's just, this doll is just gorgeous. Like, you look at her from across the room and go, my God, she's stunning.
Let me move her a little, so hopefully the camera will stop pulsing, stop breathing.
Yeah, she's amazing. We bought her from another collector, and she's just gorgeous. And she does Barbie really well, so that was why she was perfect for Madame du Smarty. And then the shoes are, I think they're actually leather. I know they're a really cool like Louboutin style platform. And I'm not sure why. One of the reasons I think they're leather is because when we were in the Volk store, I bought 3 pairs of these shoes and in different colors, and they had to be paid for separately because they couldn't be tax free. So I don't know if it had to do with the fact that they were coming from another, because I know at the Volk stores they sell from other vendors that make shoes and clothes and stuff. And so they may have been that, or it may have been that they're actually leather, and for some reason leather can't be tax free or something like that. I'm not sure. I was trying to figure it out, but I got these in red, I got them in black, and I got them in like a light blue. And they're actually DD sized, so they fit the foot so nice. And I'm being told that the mic is rubbing against my skin when I lean down.
You just don't want to do that. But
so anyways, so this is the outfit. I really like it. I think it's cute.
Just don't look at her feet.
The sweater is very nicely held away from her skin by the white blouse underneath, which made me happy. I actually think the blouse and the sweater might fit the pear girl. It'll be a different fit, but I think it might actually fit because it's fairly full. So yeah. So that's it. That's the first of the outfits that I grabbed while we were in Japan.
Expect more of that coming soon. And let's see what else we got. We've got we already filmed my Dream Choice unboxing and kind of a look at our trip to Volks. So that's got to be edited and released. And I think that's mostly it, other than maybe doing a dress up for more of these, unless you're just going to keep doing them on the news.
We might do a dress up. I don't know. There's only a few more outfits, so we might save them for the news. I don't know. That's up in the air for me.
We'll find out. And so will you, eventually. I think that's going to be it for us. Do we have names for the coffee girls yet? No,
I have a name for my pair Marvel that I'm leaning towards, but I haven't fully committed yet. Maybe by next week.
Thanks all for joining us. And of course, Thank you to our Discord subscribers. We've got our cheerleaders, Anne Marie, Appleboy, Celestial Styles Alaska, Diana DC Brick, Dee Simone 22, Doll Dragon, Holly K, Junathorn, Liz Marie, and Soup to Whoop.
And our sponsors, Agarva, Bizbotter, Redheads, Ramblings, Busy Bee, and Cami Faye SMD.
And our mascots, Baggins Lover, Cocoa Cupcake, and Warsheep. Catakit says, I ask every week, and we appreciate it. And we need the reminder because, you know, life gets in the way.
It really does.
Unlike what Dr. Malcolm suggests, sometimes life doesn't find a way. We'll see you all next time.
Bye.